Go live.
Premium account on X is required to live broadcast on their platform. Oh, wow.
Well,
Really? Really? You need a premium? Remove. All right. I'm not getting a premium account on Twitter. Why would I do that? They bite me. All right. Hey, we're live.
We live.
We're live on at least 2 platforms. God, am I going to have to get one of the dumbass blue check marks on Twitter?
I love how it's buyout now. Like you don't even have to. You could have you could have 1 follower, and as long as you can fork out the money.
That's stupid. Come on, man. Why make it a paid platform just to do stuff? I don't know. Screw that. Yeah. F Twitter, right? Greetings, salutations from the UK. Happy birthday, dude. I like UK. Thank you. Happy birthday to me too. Yeah, it's my birthday. I'm in mid 40s, let's just call it. SR375's in the house. Action Podcast, thank you. Happy birthday. Poseidon, happy birthday. Beresford, just
happy birthday, Aiden.
Just ready to pop the party. Yeah, I'm not much of a party animal. I really don't even drink. So I'm hanging out. We're going to see how this goes. I think my wife might be coming. I have intel that my wife... This summer has sucked so bad. Yeah, my dog is sleeping beside me because my wife isn't here. I haven't seen my wife. I've seen her a total of, I think, 7 days since June 28th because my kid has been doing competitive synchronized swimming in Toronto. And they won their provincials, which means they're going to Peru in a couple of weeks, meaning they're training again in Toronto. So me and my wife have been swapping out in Toronto. I've been coming home just to get work done. So my wife and I have literally a couple of those days that we've seen each other since June 28th have been on the highway between here and Toronto, where we stop in Kingston for food and we have a lunch and then we're by. Oh my God, it's been hell. So yeah, I just come back for work. So my cover image was so inspiring. Did you see the thumbnail for this? Yeah. I borrowed the picture from your Facebook. I hope you don't mind.
Why not?
Twitter's
you could have mentioned to me. I could have sent you a higher res version, but whatever.
Oh, do you have a higher res version? Yeah, I was looking for headshots, but then I'm like, well, it's my birthday. You're holding alcohol, so it works. Twitter is a twat. Stop me streaming my show for some reason. Yeah, apparently you've got to be a paid user. That's stupid. Did you see Bark's review of that horny mic? That's a birthday present for everyone. No, I did. Bark did a horny mic. Okay, now I got to see this. No, don't do that. There it is. So yeah, basically my whole summer has been watching a child do synchronized swimming and being sad that there's nothing I can really do with my life. How was your summer, Dylan?
It's been busy. We just got back from vacation in southwestern Ontario, and visiting some old friends down there and some family, and spending a couple days on the beach of Lake Huron, and just lots of bouncing around, doing fun stuff, but it gets kind of exhausting. Every day has its own thing, but and I came back, veg for a little bit now, kind of getting back into it. Got some things in the works, got some plans, some content and stuff coming up. But
yeah, you're good. You're supposed to launch a channel soon.
Yeah.
So we have an agreement that we're going to do a dual video together before you launch this. Have you kept that in mind?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. You can't drop that on me and I launched it. I'm like, son of a bitch.
No. Yeah, right. No, you'll get at least a month's heads up.
Cool, because I've been planning that video and the concept behind that video for some time, and I'm really looking forward to it. Apparently, the Barks horny mic is posted in Discord. I can't wait. I want to see that. Beresford says it's a necessary sacrifice for your kid to succeed. They will thank you when they win an Olympic medal. You know what the funny thing is about that? Because my kid, so in order to become even plausible for Olympics in synchronized swimming, first of all, the synchronized swimmers tend to be older, just because there's so much grace and it's not like any other sport. So it's going to be quite a while before my kid's competing at that level. But in order to actually make it to that level, you have to be doing what my kid is doing now, which is competing on a world stage at the age of 12, which blows my mind. Anybody beyond this, they don't really consider it plausible for them to be able to compete at a higher level going forward. So my kid's in like the high performance and all that stuff, and they're training 6 days a week, 6 hours a day, which is absolutely mind blowing.
That's
So
wild.
yeah, yes, and you know what? Our summer cost us $10,000. So I'm getting some sort of when they get to the Olympics, I'm going to get sponsorships, and we're going to live high on the hog from those sponsorships. That's the payback for all the $10,000 summers that are about to come. I just know it. My God. SR375, welcome to your mid 40s ish. Whatever. Happy birthday. Thanks. Yeah. I just forgot my age. I'm just going to forget what it is. I just got back from Devon, managed to finally teach my son to swim. It ain't pretty, but it's effective. Yeah. I taught my kids how to not die in water. That's basically the not be a professional swimmer, just don't die in water. Andrew C, happy birthday. Thanks, brother. Am I going to sell off some gear to pay for that? For the kid? No, my wife's I've got a sugar mama. So my wife does very well for herself, and she manages our money, which means we don't go broke. And Andrew says a nice day to Dylan as well. That's sweet. Dylan has birthdays too. You could say happy birthday to Dylan.
Coming up, actually.
Oh, what date is it on? I always forget.
The
Last year was
18th.
a surprise party. Yeah, you're August 18th, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, last year was a surprise party that I forget what happened. Did I get sick? Yeah, I got sick. That was a rough time. As a thank you, wife. You know what? I make more than I made in my old job now, doing all this and all the things I do. So my wife is perfectly happy to let me do my thing. As long as I'm bringing money in, she don't care, which that basically is free pass to do what I want, but I still want to make more money. That's always plausible or possible maybe. But yeah, it's been kind of a rough time. I've got a lot of videos on the back burner, including a tour of a top 0.05% podcaster in the world. I got to tour his podcast studio and kind of sit down with him and chat with him. He's the guy that I cut for, so I added his podcast episodes, and he built a big old studio in his backyard. It's gorgeous. So that's going to be probably Monday's video, but it's been like this hellish streak to get content ready to go and ready to do. So I bought, like, I've got this XLR dock from Elgato. By the way, I'm really disappointed in Elgato's stuff, which I'm going to piss off a lot of fanboys. I just know it. But yeah, the next few weeks in the live stream for the next week's live stream can't happen because I'm going to be in Toronto. Although I'll bring my laptop with me, and maybe I'll bring my camera, and maybe I'll see if I can make it happen from Toronto. That'd be actually kind of funny. But yeah, other than that, it's been the summer's been miserable, and very little work's gotten done. And also, I got to admit, man, YouTube during the summer is kind of trash.
Dried out.
Wow, everybody's off doing their own thing and not watching videos, I guess. But it's one of those things where it's like, I'm glad I'm not like head down, ass up, trying to get stuff done for YouTube, because man, this would be driving me nuts right now. So we got 13 people in. That's not too bad. What's everyone else been doing for their summer here? Just be honest. If Elgato stuff sucks, then we know not to buy it. Poseidon, you know what? No problem with honesty. I've actually gotten a few things over the past week that's been really interesting. One was here, I'll actually show it to you. This Stream Deck Plus with the Elgato Wave. It's a very gamery thing, and a lot of people yelling at me because I also got this Fallout inspired. Oh, you can't actually see it. It's a Fallout inspired low profile boom arm from Elgato, which is actually legit pretty cool. But a lot of people were yelling at me about the Wave the Wave microphone from Elgato, saying, "Oh, you just don't understand. Sounds so much better when you put it on the Wave XLR." And so I was like, "Well, this will give me a chance to finally try it out and see what it's like." Whew. Just yeah, I'll leave a lot of the disappointments for the I still have a lot of testing to do on PC and stuff like that, but it's just, if anyone ever wants to know why I have such a passionate approach to reviewing stuff and why I'm a little aggressive with my reviews, is because I've spent $500 Canadian dollars, so it's not as much as you might think, but I spent 500 of my own dollars on this over the past 2 weeks. And to have it show up and not really work as intended really does kind of piss me off. Liberty dude, say Elgato stuff sucks would not be accurate, just as it would be to say everything Elgato is great. Yeah, and but there was such high expectations. Like, I've never owned a Stream Deck, and I've always kind of wanted to get a Stream Deck and use it for this kind of stuff, so I can control. You can even use your Stream Deck for editing, for all this kind of stuff. Like, it's really, really handy. I think it's just some disappointment with some stuff, and yeah, not for audios for sure. I'll save it for the review. I know I'm gonna probably get a lot of hate for it. I do have to say though, their low profile boom arm is one of the better boom arms on the market, if not the best. I was really, really blown away by how cool it is, with the exception of one little quirk, but that's something that's easy to fix. Andrew wants to know if I'm still coming to Australia. That's all one of those things that's in the process. There's a lot of moving parts to everything going on. I can't say much right now, but there's a lot of moving parts to everything going on. And obviously, Road's very busy and I'm very busy, and we don't know what our schedule is going to look like. I need to be able to know what my schedule is coming up for me to be able to make it like to put a check mark beside that. So yes, just I don't know when. And it's one of those things when I can clarify and I can reach out and say, "Hey guys, you still interested?" So I also have to say that all depends. I could call them and say, "Okay, you still want to do this?" And they're like, "Nah." So you never know. I don't know. I really want to. It's been for a long time a dream to kind of tour a place like the Road. The Road Factory and all that stuff, and tour it to just kind of see behind the scenes, see how the sausage is made, as they say. That would be really cool to see. But again, everything's relative to busyness and what's going on at the time. Andrew will warm up the crocodiles for you. That's so sweet of you. Please keep your crocodiles. Do you because there's crocodiles in North America too. It's the shit that Australia has that nobody else has that scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, the world's largest collection of poisonous things.
Yeah, like spiders and shit. I could do without the spiders. I could seriously do it. Don't you guys have the brown recluse, which is just fuck. Glah. Action podcast. I have a Vocast 1. I really got on well with it. Now I found the stream setting replaced my Q2U for an SM58. Nice. But now I have a weird pull to the Lewitt Connect 2. Is this madness? You know what? It kind of lost in all of the bullshit of this summer has been the fact that Lewitt contacted me to tell me that they upgraded their firmware on the Lewitt Connect 2. And I did say in the video that any updates on the Lewitt Connect 2 that I would address, I just haven't had a chance to. I can't personally tell you that it's better. Shit, it's around here somewhere. I got to pull it out and I've got to do some more testing on it. As of right now, Action Podcast, I'm on the Connect 6 right now. Fucking love the Connect 6. It's fantastic. Ken, happy birthday. Thanks, brother. Good to see you, buddy. I've really missed Friday Live. Oh, you know what, man? Me too. This is one of those things that, like I said, I'll try to get it done next week. And I know I promised you it was only going to be July off, but good God. Good God. Smile, Dylan. You're on Aiden camera. Is Dylan not smiling? I have a hard time seeing him. Dylan, God damn it. Smile, man.
Smile.
Don, how's the PRS semi-hollow body? I'm tossing up between that or an Epiphone. So this isn't just the semi-hollow. This is the piezo edition. They do actually have the PRS hollow body too, which is a great guitar. Love the vibe of it. This thing has the extra piezo pickup on it, and you can actually split between the mechanical and the piezo pickup. So you get the acoustic and the electric sound mixed together. I fucking love it. I've always wanted a PRS, so this is kind of my treat to myself. I will say though, if you're going to get the piezo version, it's a little more expensive. It's actually quite a bit more expensive. So, but the piezo doesn't have the usual piezo sound. It's actually a really nice one. So, I personally would go with the PRS semi-hollow. Depends on the Epiphone you're going to get though. Don't forget to play Kurt Cobain's guitar when you get there. I'll ask him, man. When I get to Australia with Rod, I will literally sit down with him and ask, can I play Kurt Cobain's guitar? And he'll say no, and then probably escort me off the grounds. And weird YouTubers, aka Dank Pods and EEV blog. Are they not going right now too? Or are you referencing some? Oh, okay. You've really missed them as well. Road HQ is built on funnel web spider ground 0. They hide under rocks and in your shoes. Funnel webs, are those poisonous? Dylan, look that up for me. Are funnel web spiders poisonous? Because yeah, maybe I just is there a spray for that or something? Action, cheers, dude. Yeah, no worries, man. And Troy Hunt. I don't know who Troy's Hunt is. You've Neem. Thylo Grim, you've Neem. I don't know what that means. But thank you. Thylo wants you to talk a little. Dylan's probably doing work at the moment.
No, I'm reading about funnel web spiders and their highly toxic venom.
Jesus Christ. Action Podcast, did you ever use the stream setting on the Vocaster? It gets the auto gain more accurate. The default setting was too low. I can't remember. I don't have that anymore. That was only a lending unit. I can't remember the actual process of working with the Vocaster. I remember it was pretty cool. I remember it was pretty intuitive and it sounded pretty good. I just think that they jumped into the market way too late and kind of got screwed over by everybody else releasing better gear than them. Not better, but more flashy. It was more of a business approach. Actually, in fact, one of the reviews I've got coming up, I bought the SSL 2 Plus.
Nice.
They're really cheap right now, Dylan. Like, I think I bought this for $2.99 Canadian. So they're like I think they're like $220 or $230 US for a 2 Plus, which is super cheap compared to how they came out. So, yeah, like, so Dylan, they want you to talk a little. So I'm gonna give you the floor here, buddy.
Give me the floor. What are we talking about? Talk about Procast. What are we talking about?
Well, actually, you know what? Why don't we tell the class a little bit about what you got possibly coming out on your channel? Like, what's the concept of your channel going to be for these rabid fans that are kind of getting to know you already?
These rabid fans.
Well, no, like you got a lot of people here that already know who you are, and you've been a hell of a presence on this channel, and you've put so much towards this channel. What are you going to be putting towards your own? Are you going to be directly in a combatant of Dark Corner Studios? Are you going to take me on?
No, I would say, I'm going to kind of pivot or point my direction in the direction that we've tried on this channel, but it's just fallen flat a few times, which is a lot of what this channel does. Talking about audio technology, talking about music technology, microphones, speakers, acoustics, some theoretical things as well, like mic placement and some more practical videos. The occasional mic review. I don't know that I'm going to make a habit of it because I don't want to be stuck with 8 million mics. But
you already are. Shut up.
If there is a mic that I use a lot or that I like to use a lot, for example, the SM7B. I might do a review, and more specifically, I would do more review that's like, hey, here's a sound I was able to get with this, and here's how you can get it, right? I think that first one, the SM7B, is widely known being a rough kind of sound, but I've done, and a lot of people have done, some very shimmery stuff with the SM7B, stuff that you wouldn't necessarily think came out of it
Yeah.
when it sort of craftily EQ'd and processed to match what you're using it for. Like you can do a pop song, so it's like, how do you do a pop vocal with an SM7B, like a synth pop vocal? And then here's the raw, and then here's what I'm doing to it. You know, those kinds of things. Here's how to get a good like CHR imaging VO voiceover sound
Yeah.
with SM7B. Because I don't know. Things like that. You and I were talking about this earlier too, Aiden. People will buy an SM7B because it's the hallmark of success, although that's changing quickly.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're like, this sounds like shit. It's like, no, it needs a little TLC. That's it, you know, and I use that thing for voiceovers every day. I love it to death. But I can understand why people hate how just plain it is without anything on it, right?
Yeah, Ken, I'll just to show you part. Oh, there you are. Okay, so I got to track this. This here's my locker. That's just a portion because actually I can do this. There you go. That's basically the locker holding all of my. Those are a lot of boards, a lot of crap, and in behind me is this tool chest. It's literally full to the brim of microphones, and that's not a brag. I have been offloading some to Dylan as much as possible. So Dylan, take the mics, man, and you will take what I give you. He's not even smiling. He's not even paying attention to me.
Oh, I'm just reading comments.
Oh, Liberty Dude, why are Zoom H recorders still getting thumbs up with only neg 120 EIN? Do they match the newest standards? You know what? And this is something like when I did the video on the X6 from Tascam, great recorder, and absolutely blows Zoom's recorders out of the water, with the exception of the accessibility options on the Zoom recorders for people who are visually impaired. Outside of that, the Tascam X6 blows it out of the water. The problem with is the older H recorders that, yes, have the neg 120 EIN have so much more utility to them that the Tascams don't have, and neither does the Essentials series. I was kind of hoodwinked by Zoom when they announced the new, and it looked like a brand new H4. It turns out it's just an H1 with 2 XLR jacks instead of the XY mics, which is just all right, cool. But yeah, it's something that Zoom is just holding firm on, and I'm guessing they own a lot of those. They own the proprietary rights to those preamps, to the preamps, and I'm guessing they're just running their course until they have to develop something better, and until somebody comes out to actually like challenge the Zoom H6, which, I mean, the X8 is great, but it doesn't have the utility that the old Zoom H recorders had. Those were just phenomenal recorders. Dylan still uses the H8, which, by the way, if you do want a good Zoom product that has all the functionality of the H series but with better preamps, the Zoom H8 has neg 125.
That's not bad.
DBEIN, which is, it's usable. So yeah, anyways, that's that. Dylan should do a video on how to move home efficiently, as I think I've seen you live in 3 places so far. Has it been 3? I think it's only 2.
It's been 3.
Were you doing live streams with me back in the Above the Garage?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
So I guess, technically 2 places.
2 places, yeah. Ken wants a few mics.
Yeah, I am quite efficient at moving. I don't like it. I hate moving. I hate having to uncustomize a space. My God.
Yeah.
Especially like when I move into a place, I'm moving into my place, and there's going to be some invasive surgery at points. So it's like,
yeah, you want to make sure that I always, when I rented, I was like, okay, the next place we're going to own, because I'm sick of this. I'm sick of when you own, you can just move in and make it your own. Action Podcast. I think I bought the Vocaster after your video, and I definitely bought the SM58. You said something like, I will F and sh when I hear how much, crap yourself when you hear how much better than the Q2U. You were right. Yeah, the SM58 blows the Q2U out of the water, even though the Q2U for when it was released was pretty cool. Thylo, looking forward to Dylan's channel. Oh, I completely forgot I can put these up. That was Thylo Grim. And I can't see any of this because the screen's too small because of the Elgato thing. Oh, come on. There's a lot to be explored on using audio gear for off-label use, aka abusing the gear to get that funky sound. That's actually an interesting perspective. I mean, jokingly, that does sound jokingly SR375, but there's something to be said about utilizing audio gear in non-traditional fashions to get different sounds. And I mean, from the wall of sound to the reverb drum madness of the 80s to
and sometimes it becomes like an official thing. Prime example, the original 1176, the original LN 1176 compressor, which is infamous. There's so many knockoffs and versions of it floating around there. It's like one of the most famous analog hardware compressors.
yeah.
And on it there's 4 buttons to select ratio. There's 4 to 1, 8 to 1, 12 to 1, and 20 to 1. And somebody at some point found out that if you press those in together, you get this wildly freaking just aggressive, snotty sounding compression that's like, oh, that's actually kind of cool. And so now with some remakes of it and some hardware versions now by that company, there's actually like an all buttons mode, like specifically baked into it now, because that was such a common usage. In fact, a lot of software emulations, like Waves has one that has the all as a specific button. You don't have to like press them all in at the same time.
Damn it. I keep forgetting to turn monetization on for the live streams. That's how you lose money.
So much for that birthday cash.
Yeah. Dylan's channel will be Essential Viewing Action Podcast. Yeah, Dylan's very good at presenting information. SR375.
When I'm reading a script, otherwise I troll off in a million different directions.
SR375 wants to know if you got any of them U87 AIs for cheap. You got any more of them U87 AIs?
I ain't found any for cheap, but if anybody has, hit me up because I want to get in on that.
Ken's willing to help us out and get rid of some of our mics for free. We just have to pay shipping. That's awfully nice.
Mm-hmm.
SR375 will actually pay the shipping. That's nice for me. SR375 is going to pay the shipping for me to send Ken the microphones. That's nice. DJ Play Nice. I have a hall pass for being tardy. I don't know, man.
Oh, man.
Plus for disability consideration. I screen readers all day long. Yeah, that's one of those things that in the era where we're getting towards mostly touch screen interaction and UI, the main people that are being left out with that stuff are people with visual impairments. And that does kind of suck, right? And a lot of companies not doing much. So, I mean, there are definitely props to Zoom for actually like pulling weight and cornering that market. I just wish they'd do it on some better products. Just saying. They're never sending me gear. By the way, I reached out to them to try to get one of those new H1 XLRs. And man, you could hear the fucking crickets in my email. Rode should just buy Zoom at this point. If Rode's listening, buy Zoom. You know what? You know how much good Rode could do with Zoom? Like to just take like the Zoom H5 or the Zoom H6, put some kick-ass preamps in it, and like lithium-ion battery. No, everybody gets mad when you don't have interchangeable batteries. So to be fair, but like just some good preamps in a Zoom H6 and with all the utility of that would be freaking awesome. So yeah, Rode, go buy them. Episode suggestion: how to do an audio podcast that is optimized for cochlear. I can never say that word. Implants, special hearing device if such is needed. That's interesting.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I don't know how you would EQ audio for that, but that would be interesting. Also an Australian invention. Look at that.
I would assume the whatever the kind of brain that the implant is connected to would have some kind of DSP in it that would filter and modify the signal
Oh, they all do
range.
filtering and noise reduction and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
so it's just a matter of figuring out what that profile sounds like, but how the hell do you mic up a cochlear implant? Um,
Cochlear. I can never say that word. God damn it. Have you managed to have any interaction with Hindenburg or Austrian Audio? I have outside, like I did the OC818 and the My Creator review, which I'm actually just sending them back. I forgot to email them. God damn it. So I'm just sending those back. I do have a little bit of interaction. Depends on what people want me to review by them. Yeah. Hindenburg, no. I've tried to get a hold of them, not really much. I think I've got a series coming out on how to switch over to. Oh, anyways, yeah. There's stuff in the works for that kind of stuff. Outsider Jess, happy birthday. My brain just went soft. I'm finally starting to understand all the audio tech talk. Still a long way to go, but if you and Dylan ever want to do an absolute idiot's guide to audio basics, I'm all in.
well,
That's
yeah,
actually that's an interesting. See, I've done one video explaining stuff. Actually, I can just look it up here when it was. It was a while ago. Oh no, okay, it's under videos. Yeah, it was exactly July 5th, 2021, 3 years ago, explaining compression, dynamic range, sample rate, and bit depth. And it's only got 929 views and it's 3 years old. That's one of the hard parts of doing. Sorry. Oh, that's one of the hard parts of doing videos like that is there's a lot of people that are like you, but then you put the videos out and YouTube sees, oh, this is really like in depth and people aren't really watching all of it because they get bored halfway through and then they just stomp it down.
well, and I think the key there is probably length. I mean, you take each one of those things and break it off into its own little, less than 5-minute thing.
Yeah, that
Like
might be the idea.
bite-sized tips kind of thing.
Yeah, that was 11:22 for the length of it. Anyways, it would be interesting to kind of go over some of that stuff and like show how compression and how the difference in bit depth, so you can go all the way down to 8-bit depth and like
Yeah, show what or like that thing that I just posted in the Discord today. The Excel spreadsheet for calculating your delay in milliseconds with a given hardware buffer size, like a certain amount of samples and a sample rate.
Yeah.
And so that could be useful to know because, what I was finding is I just recently did the jump and I've started recording everything I do at 96 kilohertz, or at least everything that is, a needing of quality to be 96 kilohertz, which is a pain in the ass for a variety of reasons. One of those is that when you're at 96K, your buffer is now, it feels big. Like saying that I have a 500, like my buffer is 512, 1,000 samples round trip. That feels like a lot, but at 96 kilohertz, those samples are a lot closer together than 44.1. So, and then sort of calculating, all right, what's my best sort of ratio, like that's saves me CPU power, but still gives me as little latency as possible. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. But videos on that, right? Talking about like what do those settings mean? Like sample rate, bit depth. Like what are those? What's that terminology?
Dylan posted something in the Discord, by the way, that's fascinating. If you guys want to go check it out, it's about basically what he was talking about there, and it's a spreadsheet, and it's basically looking at the latency when you choose these different settings. And it's actually pretty cool. Andrew C has an interesting question. I actually kind of wanted to stop for this one. How hard was it to decide not to do cheap gear reviews? Really, with so much crap being released, it must be kind of tempting to fill quiet periods. I never really reviewed them because it was cheap and easy. I actually believe more in the representation of reviewing them and representing the market, because like I said in that last video, there's a big market out there of people that just want a cheap shitty microphone to sound good and to let their 14-year-old game with. But I feel like in the rest of the market, when you're dealing with like the companies of this world that have been working on their products for years, and I don't lump Fifine in this. However, Fifine got kind of screwed out of um, any future reviews from me because of the actions of one company, which still blow my mind. That Mayono's still like review bombing that video, but whatever. Um, but to me, the idea that people are just using it to confirm their screwed up bias about, and they can't accept any kind of feedback on a microphone. Like I had evidentiary proof that the Mayono mic was trash, that it couldn't handle close talking, like it just distorted, and people got mad at that and people were disliking it. It's like, well, what do you want me to do? I can't pretend that the mic is good. And that's, you just say nice things for once. Well, but I can't. That's not the review. You don't just say nice things about a fucking review when something's garbage. It's like you can't even pat it when it's that bad. Like there's like an actual flaw in the fucking microphone. How do you make that? How do you turn roses up from that? You don't. It's
Yeah,
just
well,
a bad mic.
reviews aren't there to validate your ego. Reviews are there to
Yeah.
educate consumers. That's what reviews are for.
And
Reviews are for to tell consumer, hey, do you need this? Do you not need this? Here's why. Here's
yeah,
why.
and I'm already scraping the barrel of saying nice things about a lot of these microphones, like the Fifine AM8 or whatever it was, and all the Mayono mics. Like I struggle. Like you're still trying to say something nice without saying, "Well, I wouldn't buy this. I have never plugged in any of those microphones on my own and used them." Like Tom Buck was talking about, reviewers reviewing stuff and then never using it again. But what do you do when you're trying to find the silver lining on that stuff? And when it's so egregiously bad, you can't fluff that. So that's kind of where I was coming at it from. And when it comes to like filling quiet periods, I would rather just use my overwhelming, charisma to release a video of a talking head video than do a shitty product that people are just that want to be validated because they can't afford something more expensive, which is sad because I still believe there's a market out there for massive market. There's millions and billions of dollars in that. And it's just sad that companies and people have to act the way they do. So I'll stick with stuff that I don't have to try really hard to say nice stuff about, that I can be open and honest without. You got to remember, there's a reason people are scared to do certain reviews and are scared to be honest about reviews, because you get a lot more positive feedback on positive reviews. Like if I come out and I say, oh my God, this Wave microphone is awesome, you've got all the fanboys for this product that are like, yeah. When you come out and say, actually, this is really boosted in the highs and is one of the brightest mics I've ever used, oh, you're just not giving it a go. And it's amazing how much hate you can get from that stuff. And I'm okay with that because that's a company that is a legit company, and Elgato or Corsair has never come at me and like review bombed my stuff or anything like that. So yeah, but when you start dealing with some of that crap, it's just not worth it. Anyways, we'll move on here. I feel like I've shit on Mayono and Fifine enough for one day. I bought the Fifine SC3. I can finally use my pod mic on my PS5 now. Nice. No, shipping to me. Oh wow, we're way behind, aren't we? I'm a kind soul like that. Don't post the Rode Procaster. Okay, you'll need to fight the Australian drop bears. Bears. I have no idea what that sentence said, but I fucking loved it. There's a whole lot of positive shit in that sentence.
Yeah, love it.
Poseidon, I'd love to start a Finnish guide on editing podcasts for dummies. It'd really help me. For the love of God, and I was supposed to do this summer while I was in Toronto, I've got to shoot my guide, basically a guide to podcasting, and I'm going to be going through with a few videos on editing. It's actually easier than you think. A lot of podcast editing for dummies, as it were, even at a high-end level, is just time and attention and getting as fast as you can with as many presets and macros as you can. Literally, like knowing what you can get away with in editing. Hopefully, you're working with decent audio, and then going as fast as you can to try to make as much money in as short a period of time. So it's actually not as hard, and there will be a lot. Good God, I need to get the time to do that. And it doesn't seem like, by the way, if you can hear my dog snoring, that's because he follows me around because my wife's not here. Why not YouTube Shorts for the basics? YouTube Shorts, people hate them. People hate YouTube Shorts. Every time I put up a YouTube Short, it gets a bunch of dislikes on it because I guess it pisses people off that I do extra content. I don't know. Which is why you don't see a lot of YouTube Shorts on my channel, because for some reason people just, man, they get angry, man.
It's so weird. I don't like, because I don't know. I do YouTube Shorts at least once a day, and I'll just have a 20 minutes of just seeing what's going on.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I like the format. There's certain things you're not going to get from YouTube Shorts. So, but I mean, I've seen your shorts. Your shorts I thought were good and topical. And
I was trying to do comedy with the shorts before, because that's like, honestly, like, I love doing the comedic shit. I love it. That's one of those things that there's no stress in doing the comedy. I love doing that stuff, and I can do more of it, but it just wasn't getting received. And on my second channel, that is more of a storytelling channel that a lot of people don't actually know about, Dark Corner Media. I started pumping out, because I didn't have time. I lost my editor because he just dropped off the face of the earth. I started doing shorts on that channel because it was easier. I could recycle a lot of the content and just put it in short form, bring new people in. There was no crossover between short and long form. None. There was not a single person that went, oh, I love this short. I'd get 8,000 views on a short, and not a single one of them would move over to the main video. And it's like, well, why am I doing shorts on a channel that I'm trying to do long form on? So yeah, it's hard. Shorts, I still haven't wrapped my head around. However, I do want to start, and this is my child, my 12-year-old has told me that I need to start a TikTok, and I need to start getting going on my short form content there. So that's actually probably going to be coming. The bit depth, this is a good one, Andrew. The bit depth and compression stuff probably makes one of those locked courses people pay $20+ to access, like DSLR Video Shooter does.
I would do that.
Yeah.
I think that's a great area to kind of maybe get a little bit deeper than YouTube would allow on some stuff, while also, again, having a line of revenue from it.
If you want to do up a line of stuff like that, you can put it under my brand and you can have all the money for it. Like, I don't, so we can promote it through this channel until you get your legs going on your channel. That way that you can make the money from that stuff. Cause goddamn. Specialized stuff. It's also like, the one problem I have with stuff like that is, like, it's not like learning to use a camera. You have to develop your ears over years. You have to develop, like, to EQ stuff isn't just well, this is how it works. Like, you can look at an EQ graph and know exactly each region of the frequencies and what the frequencies do. 10,000 plus is your area frequencies. But that doesn't matter if you can't hear the frequencies. So like, a lot of people are like, can you do a video on how to EQ? And it's like, well, if you can't hear what you're EQing, you got to learn how you, and to me, that's always been like one of those things where that's how you get your ears, is by EQing things. That's how I got mine. Anyways, I don't know.
Yeah. Like ear training for a mixing engineer, or for any engineer, but yeah, definitely mixing engineers and mastering engineers as well is, can you pinpoint, like, to the nearest thousandth or multiple of 2 or whatever, can you hear those and identify them? Like, could you hear 3 kilohertz and could you identify that sound? Could you hear 8 kilohertz and identify that sound?
Yeah.
I think I'd be pretty good at that.
That would see, now that's the kind of stuff where you're training people to train their ears rather than just go, this is how you EQ an SM7B, because you can't tell a person how to EQ in a microphone with your voice.
No, you've got to learn the fundamentals to like how what a pleasant frequency response sounds like. And it's you can't really show. I mean, yeah, there are curves that exist that are like, hey, get the average to look kind of like this, and then that's good. And it's like, no, it depends on the voice, it depends on the overtones, it depends
Yeah.
on like that's not fully linear. Like what sounds great to a male voice in terms of filtering is wildly different on a female voice.
Yeah, see, I actually have no experience EQing a female voice.
In fact, different voices at different times of the day.
Oh
That's
yeah.
another big one, right? People first thing in the morning, they get all kinds of mucus and shit on their vocal cords, and so that's very deep and more bassy as the day progresses, and they get hydrated and their the muscles wake up, they get a little higher. And so depending on if I'm voicing something with somebody in the morning or in the afternoon or like late afternoon, that could be a wildly different EQ setting, a different set of resonances.
Yeah. Really quick, we're gonna have to go through some. I just want to stop on the SR375 here. Got to go through some comments here because we're running out of time and we're way behind. SR375, thank you for being honest on the reviews. In my industry, we have Gigo, garbage in, garbage out. And you know what? It's funny because Harris Heller from Alpha Gaming recommended me to a company for a product that's coming out, and they basically reached out and said, who hasn't reviewed our products do you think should review our products? And Harris Heller recommended me. I didn't realize, and it was funny because when I was talking to him, he's like, yeah, just do an honest review, don't pad it because you're getting it for free. And I was like, oh, you've never watched my videos. And I'm like, dude, ask Zoom what my videos are like, so we'll be okay. But I am pretty excited, by the way. Being recommended by somebody like Harris is kind of cool, but also like new relationships with companies is a lot of fun. And now if I disappoint with a bad review, I'm disappointing two people. It's kind of like my parents all over again. Overlooked issue between open and closed back headphones. Open and closed back headphones would be an interesting one. I need to get me a new pair of open back headphones. Good companies take the heat on a bad review. Good companies don't care. Good companies recognize, but also good companies recognize and they know when they're putting out a bad product. A good example of this was when I got contacted after doing the Q9U video. I did the video on the Q9U. It's a muddy mess. I didn't like the microphone. It's a USB XLR microphone, and the sales rep contacted me after, and he said, hey, buddy, we've got the Q9X coming out, and we want to get a second shot at this and see. And I was like excited. I'm like, oh, cool. They must have done something to it. They must have, really like fixed it up, and like this is their next evolution, and they've and I'm like, so I'm going to compare the Q9U and the Q9X, and he was like, actually, yeah, that's the one thing we don't want you doing any comparisons with it. Just review the microphone and don't focus on the comparisons. So I'm like, all right. So I get the microphone, and it turns out I ripped the microphone apart. It was the exact same as the Q9U. So what did I do? I sewered the microphone. He knew damn well what he was giving me. He knew he was giving me the exact same microphone. He just wouldn't tell me on the phone. Bad companies know when they're releasing a bad product. And a lot of these companies are trying to grab people's money without doing the due diligence of actually creating a proper product. And that's probably what pisses me off the most is like, again, I know what it feels like to drop a ton of money into something like this Elgato Stream Deck Plus and the Wave XLR, and to get it here and realize it's absolute dog shit and I can't use it. That pisses me off because I spent my money I could have spent that $500 on something else. So yeah, like when bad companies do that kind of stuff, that's why my reactions are the way they are. And that's why I really don't hold off that much in my reviews, is because I know you guys probably might have less money than me. And that's a big problem for a lot of people where they drop $500 and can't return it. Well, now you just fucked Christmas, man. That's it. Santa Claus hates you now. Liberty Dude, with the main driver of YouTube video watch source being search videos on compression EQ complete against the top search recommends. Yeah, you know what? And that's part of it. When you mix it with other content, though, eventually you will get the if your presentation is good, you will get the views on it. YouTube has been getting a lot better at pushing smaller channels. You'll see a lot of that stuff. Good God, no TikTok. Yeah, TikTok's coming. I'd love to get into your shorts, Aiden. Wait, what? Ken, buddy, not in the live stream. Call me later. Call me later. Damn, I would pay. Action Podcast. Right after Ken's comment. I don't know what that means. Either you have an ear or you don't, in my opinion. SR375. That is a fascinating take.
I think you can learn. I think most of that. Now, do you have the ambition that's focused in that direction to get good at that?
Yeah, that's a big one.
I think some people get there quicker than others. I'm not the most proud of all of my mixes, but I've never, I haven't had anybody complain that, wow, this is way off base with anything that I've done. And so I think I was fortunate to be one of the few to get there, but I also have perfect pitch. That helps. If you have to learn relative pitch, like I was talking about, like 1 kilohertz, the difference between what that sounds like, what 2K sounds like, what 6K sounds like, and how, that there's ear training involved there. Like, listen to those, figure out what they sound like, hear them in what you're listening to. It does take training. Some people certainly are blessed to get there, but that's not to say that certain people couldn't get there. How somebody who is tone deaf, like clinically tone deaf, how that would impact your ability to mix, I don't know. I would be interested to see if anyone has ever tried that, or if anybody's ever become an engineer who is technically pitch deaf. I mean, I know some engineers that sing horribly, but I don't know that it's necessarily an indication of like actual pitch deafness.
Well, I mean, there's control. There's a lot that goes into it. By the way, I just want to point out, JR, I love you, buddy. Has been spamming for me to review Audio-Technica's AT4047 SV. So I tell you what, buddy, I'm going to get one by next week, or the next 2 weeks. I promise I will have that out by the end of September. I'm just gonna. I've got a way to rent one. I think. Does Long and McQuaid have them? I'm gonna check this out.
If not, you can. They'll get it.
I don't know if they'll get it for me to review.
Oh no, yeah, I was gonna say if they have it in, they might have a tricky time with that.
AT4047
SV.
Yeah, I know it's right here. Because they have the MP, which is the multi-pattern. Used available. Ooh,
nice.
I wonder how much it is used. It's in BC. I'm not in BC, you dumb computer. Oh my God. Oh, they only have one. They only have one in BC. Okay. We'll see. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to try to track that down, JR. I'm going to do my best to get that. Okay. You put in the work, man. You've brought up the AT4047 a lot. So for the work you've put in, I'm going to actually make it my mission to get an Audio-Technica AT4047 to review. So I love Harris, but he has bad takes, in my opinion, about audio. So yes, he's had some bad takes. I've seen a lot of people have some bad takes in the name of, and I don't know if it's in the name of certain companies and having a bias towards certain companies. For example, I saw a lot of people do reviews on the Wave microphone. And the Wave microphone was obviously EQ'd during the review. And his was one of them. he's not somebody I watch for my audio reviews. How do I put that as nicely as possible? I love Harris. Harris is a great content creator about content creation. And like, I'm not a gamer, but a lot of his advice about content creation is spot on. And if you can reutilize some of it instead of looking at it through gaming, but utilize it through, he's somebody to emulate as a content creator. If you want to be a content creator, he is somebody that will definitely have a lot more for you than the audio. The nicest way to put that. Like, we try not to shit on other content creators because I don't think he's ever done something underhanded, like reviewed something for the sake of reviewing it to get better relationships with the company, because dude can have whatever fucking relationships he wants. Are you kidding me? Can you get out of here, you big oaf? It's my dog. So yeah, like, I don't see him as being underhanded in that way. I think he's a gamer, and I think he understands the industry of gaming and the gear for gaming, and that is a very different industry than audio gear. That's the best way to put it. SR375 EQ for live is a whole other bit of disaster. Every bit of equipment is different. The chain of equipment, yeah, nothing is static. Yeah, I don't do Liberty Dude trolling. That's awesome. $5 to not review the 4047. Beautiful. I love that. Thank you very much for the welcome back. We've been missing. Yeah, we're going to be taking another break next week, or I'm going to try to do this live from Toronto. Beresford, when you said dumb computer, I thought you were going to say dumb something else beginning with the. Oh no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not British or Australian, so I'm not allowed to use that C word. Not at all. I believe that's only like in Canada. That is a very bad word to say. My wife says that to me. I don't know. Great stream. It's what does your wife say to you? Because there's a lot of former comments that I miss my dog. Oh yeah, my dog's annoying. He's more of my wife's dog. My dog actually I had to put down 2 weeks ago. I actually forgot that was part of this. My dog who had the seizure. Had the seizure issues. I completely forgot. This is a bit like blocked out of my head. She went into a 24-hour long seizure where we couldn't break it, and she was traumatized. And that was my dog. She was a Rottweiler Doberman. Fucking love that dog. She was nuts. Like she was nuts with a capital W. She literally did, like, you walk her and she would bark at everything. Like, there was a paper bag that went by us and she'd be like going nuts over this paper bag. But then you get her home and she was the sweetest bloody dog. So yeah, Mr. Moo, who looks like a cow. He's my wife's dog, and he's just depressed that my wife's not home. So he follows me around like a puppy. I do love the guy, but I do miss my dog. Yeah, it sucks. I had completely blocked all that shit out. So yeah, I miss my dog too, just to point that out. That was Outsider Jess. Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Can't say C in Canada. Kevin Bloody Wilson. Nice. Mr. Moo is an S-tier name. It's literally because he looks like a cow. And he's one of the most annoying, whiny dogs I've ever met in my life. Anyways, all that said, I've got to go do some birthday things. I love you all. I appreciate everybody that's shown up for the live stream. I really do appreciate you guys coming out. I know this is not as conventional as usual. We got some good conversation out of it. Next week, I'm going to try my ass off to get into the live stream. And I think I kind of want to try more like a live reviews on stuff during these live streams, like make sure that I have a new mic I'm trying out or a new audio interface and stuff like that. So that's something I kind of wouldn't mind trying out over the next little while and putting a little bit of spice behind. So maybe a pre-review of using some gear. And I think I'm getting a multi-camera setup in. So I think that might be a fun little way to do something like that. So anyways, guys, have yourself a great day, and we'll see you hopefully next week.